You breathe in, you breathe into the fear, and then you breathe the fear out your nose and have it go into all that space. And it was revolutionary for me because what it did is it made me realize this isn't just me. I'm not alone, and that, I don't have to what's up? I'm John Breyer, and today I'm going to talk about a book I read called Radical Acceptance by Tara Brach. One of the things I really loved about the book is in the beginning it explained something I've always wanted to know, which is the cause of self-loathing. Self-loathing or self-hatred is really a common concept in psychology, in Western psychology. Basically the idea that I'm my own worst critic. If you talk to people for long enough and think about it, you'll realize that basically everybody in the West kind of hates themselves on some level. They just really they're never good enough kind of thing. And she explains this with 3 causes. And the first cause is basically not having a great childhood, not having a really nourishing environment. I think this goes beyond just parents. I think it just means not having a tribe, not having, a normal human community like you would have before modern times, where we were surrounded by lots of people, not just 2 people. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is competitiveness. And, capitalism, in my opinion, is directly related to this. She doesn't mention that word, but the idea that she says in every area of your life you have to compete, whether it's school, maybe even church, athletics, you're always competing. You hear the phrase I'm trying to get ahead. Well, what are you trying to get ahead of? I think you're trying to get ahead of other people because you're in a competition, right? Okay, so the third explanation or cause rather for this self-loathing is Adam and Eve, the story of original sin. She says it's kind of quaint that it's the cause, but she says we don't realize how much it's embedded in our culture. And I find this all pretty compelling. One of the other things that I really like about the book is she explains something called the trance of unworthiness. So she starts off talking about self-hatred and its causes, and she says what self-hatred results in is the trance of unworthiness, which is basically just constantly going around thinking, well, my boss is not happy with me, I'm not good enough at this, and you're just constantly running thoughts through your mind about how you're not, matching up to what you're supposed to be, apparently. And it's a trance, which I think is a really interesting concept because I think constantly, and a lot of the thoughts are related to things I haven't done. I need to do this, I should be better at that. And it really is compelling to me, this idea, this trance of unworthiness. She also talks about a trance of fear, and she mentions that after some time, all meditators will eventually realize that they're really controlled by fear. And I've actually noticed this a lot lately. She gives a meditation on how to deal with fear, which I thought was it was very helpful to me because I meditated for a long time, and I would get this just incredible anxiety in my stomach. And I knew it was fear, and it wouldn't go away. I thought that if I meditated enough, it would become weaker, essentially, and it didn't. And her meditation was, instead of just going into it, which is what I did, you basically become present, first of all, with the area around you. You listen to the sounds in your immediate vicinity, and then you go outward to your room, and then to your house and your neighborhood. Maybe for me, I have a highway nearby, so I can hear that. I can hear the cars in the neighborhood. And so I do that, and then I gradually go out to the continent, and then South America, and then the rest of the world, and then the moon, and I try to understand our solar system, and then the Milky Way galaxy, and then there's more galaxies, and then there's a local cluster I just recently learned about, and I try to do that. And what you do after you have that experience is then you go into the fear, and you feel the fear, find out where it is. And you breathe in, you breathe into the fear, and then you breathe the fear out your nose and have it go into all that space. And it was revolutionary for me because what it did is it made me realize this isn't just me. I'm not alone, and that, I don't have to be controlled by this fear, it's I don't know, it's just like an experience. I can't even explain it, but it really helped. It was very helpful. And the day, sometime after it, one thing I find with meditation is many times when I try a new meditation, I'll get some amazing benefits from it, like the first time I try it. And then after that, I don't get the same benefits. And this is something I've heard called not beginner's luck, but beginner's mind. And beginner's mind is basically when you don't come to something with preconceived notions, when you're not trying, but you're just like, okay, I'm supposed to do this thing, and you just do it as best as you can. You don't know anything, so you're not trying to control the situation. And by not trying to control the situation as much, usually you have really good results. And that's what I think beginner's luck is oftentimes. So beginner's mind, in this case, what it did for me is it allowed me to really let the fear out. It was amazing. And I put a color to it. It was red, and it would just go out into this, the neighborhood, my house, my apartment, and then the solar system, and so on and so forth. And incidentally, while I'm meditating, I'm always like, I'm not imagining, the solar system properly. I don't even know the order of the planets, and then I'm not imagining the Milky Way galaxy properly. And it's just like, there's the trance of unworthiness for you. But what happened was, the first time I was doing this, I experienced just almost like I was driving down the road, and like my fear completely went away. My anxiety completely went away. And one thing I know is that I have a lot of anxiety, and I'm basically, I don't know, I just felt at this moment, like I could just tell that I was like lightening up, and it was like, I was just like, okay with what was going on, you know what I mean? And I wasn't worried about the future. I was like, I don't really have to worry about things, like, it's going to be all right. Like, essentially, I'm not going to die. And that's something that I think motivates most of our anxiety, the fear of death. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So there you go. Thanks for listening. I'm John Breyer. Bye-bye.